Double game week 33 is confirmed. 6 teams play twice, and both of us here at FPL Fix have our wildcards active. We've spent the last 5 days endlessly planning, and we're no longer doubting our strategy. We're showing you why we think this is the right time, and how our teams are set up. Hi everyone, welcome back to FPL Fix for the Game Week 32 preview. I'm James, and as always, I'm joined by Patrick.
Hi everyone, big week ahead. We both wildcarded, so we'll be showing you our full squads, walking you through the thinking, and hopefully helping you figure out what to do this week.
Exactly, but first, let's set the scene, because the situation this week is one of the most exciting we've had all season. After the FA Cup quarter-finals, we now know exactly which 6 teams are doubling in 33. Man City, Chelsea, Leeds, Burnley, Brighton and Bournemouth all play twice, and all 6 blank in Game Week 34.
This is a massive double game week. 15 players all playing twice means 30 chances to score points instead of the usual 11. That's why the wildcard this week is so appealing.
Yeah, and if you look past double game week 33, Man City and Crystal Palace are very likely to double again in 36, so Man City assets hold value right to the end of the season, and if you can save transfers to pick up some Palace players before that double, then even better.
This is the most complex planning week of the season, but we've both landed on the same strategy, so let's get into the details.
There are quite a few approaches being used this week. We'll start with option 1, which is our favourite, but we'll go through a few of the others. Option 1 is wildcard 32, bench boost 33 and free hit 34. With this strategy, you wildcard now, load up on doublers, bench boost in game week 33 to squeeze points from up to 15 players with 2 games each, then free hit in blank game week 34 with a completely fresh team. Double game week 33 is the biggest double game week left and therefore the biggest scoring opportunity left in the season. The information is all there, we know the 6 doublers, we know who blanks in 34, there's no real reason to wait.
One thing to know with this strategy, Man City played Chelsea in game week 32, so some of the most popular wildcard assets face each other in this game week. Game week 32 might be a quieter week, but you're building for game week 33. The next option is to free hit in 33, wildcard in game week 35, and then bench boost in game week 36. This is the patient approach, and probably the second most popular strategy. Free hit the double without committing your wildcard, then reset in game week 35 with more information. This is only valid if your squad is already in decent shape.
Yeah, it is a valid option, but like every strategy, it's really team dependent. For my team, for example, using that strategy, I'd be sitting on 5 free transfers and have a wildcard in game week 35, and that's too late to maximise the points in my opinion. Option 3 is wildcard 33, free hit 34 and bench boost 35, and this one's really underrated. It's the route I'd take if I wasn't going option 1. You let game week 32 play out, assuming your team is better than the ones people are wildcarding into, then hit the wildcard button after the game week 32 deadline. You have more control and gain more information. The risk is missing out on points against the bench boosters, but for managers who want precision, and even those without a bench boost left, it's a really strong plan. Okay, before we get onto our wildcard essentials, let's have a quick look at captaincy, but it should be pretty straightforward this week. Bruno's the clear number 1 option. Under Michael Carrick, he's returned in 8 of his last 10 starts. He's averaging over 8 points per game, and he's hit 5 double-figure returns in his last 5 at Old Trafford. He plays Leeds at home this week, and he's topping virtually every captaincy poll going.
Okay, now moving on to some of the most essential wildcard targets. Welbeck is almost a must-have in my opinion. He scored 33 points in his last 5 game weeks, 4 goals, and is Brighton's penalty taker. Brighton played Burnley this week, the worst defensive team in the league. Then they double in game week 33, so there's 3 chances for returns in quick succession.
Yeah, my only concern is the 2 game week 33 matches are only 3 days apart, so his minutes might well be managed across the double, something to watch out for. For me, the essential target on wildcard is Tavernier. He's been so close in recent weeks, he's hit the woodwork a good few times, he's got a share of the penalties, and with Bournemouth's 2 fixtures in the double, I'm expecting some big returns. He'll need to be on the bench though this week, away at Arsenal, which obviously isn't ideal, but I think it will be worth it in the double. Okay, before we move on to our team reveals, let's take a quick look back at game week 31, even though it was a really long time ago now. My team did well, I scored 64 points, I got a green arrow and moved inside the top 60,000. I captained Wilson over Bruno, which wasn't the right decision. I played with 10 men, but rolled the transfer and was really pleased with the result overall.
I got 56 points, a green arrow, and got back inside the top million. I made the right call with Bruno as captain and got 9 points from Harry Wilson. Not much else to add really.
Right, now on to the fun part, the team reveals. So we've both wildcarded and I'll start things off. In goal, I've got Verbruggen away to Burnley this week and he's doubling in 33. Then at the back I've gone with Van Heck, O'Reilly, and I'm holding Gabriel for one more week at home to Bournemouth before moving him on for Strujic in 33. Van Heck's Brighton's top scorer in FPL this season. Goals, assists, DEFCON, he's got the lot. And O'Reilly is one of the most explosive players in the game right now with potential at both ends of the pitch. In midfield, I've gone with Bruno with the captaincy armband at home to Leeds, Anthony from Burnley, who's doubling in 33, Semenyo, who's nailed since joining City in January, Palmer, who's got a tough game against City this week, but he's near essential in the double, and now he's confirmed he's back fully fit. And then up front, I've got Calvert-Lewin away to United, which isn't ideal, but there is a chance of a lucky penalty. João Pedro, who's also doubling in 33, and he's been in ridiculous form since Rosenia arrived, and Haaland, who doubles against Arsenal and Burnley after this one, which makes him near essential as well. He had a hat-trick against Liverpool in the FA Cup last week, which was just a reminder of his incredible ceiling. On my bench, I've got Darlow, Tavernier, Senesi and Hill. They're all primed for the bench boost next week. I've made 11 transfers, I've got 1 million left in the bank, and I am wildcarding into a team that is predicted to score less points than I started with, but the upside in double game week 33 more than makes up for it.
I really like that squad. It's kind of similar to mine. I've also gone with Verbruggen and Van Hecker, but I've gone with Cucurella for attacking potential and Hill away at Arsenal hoping for DEFCON. In midfield, I've kept Bruno with the armband, but the rest of my starters all play each other. Palmer, Semenyo and Shirky. Palmer and Semenyo are obvious, but I really like Shirky as a differential. He has a massive upside and his minutes are increasing. My front three is Haaland, João Pedro and Welbeck. Haaland and João Pedro play each other this week, but the double game week 33 upside is enormous. And despite the minutes concerns that you mentioned earlier, Welbeck has to be considered for the lead in the line. On my bench I've got 4 players ready for the bench boost in game week 33 as well.
Yeah, there is a few big differences, but there are some similarities at the core, like there will be with most managers using the chip this week. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. And that's it for this one. If you found it useful, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out.
And you can follow us on X at Wkend Fix for deadline updates and last minute team news.
Thanks for watching, good luck this game week, and we'll see you next time.